At the family party, my parents said, "We wish your sister was our only child in front of." My family looked at me like I was a mistake, an inconvenient truth they wished they could erase. But the moment my dad said it out loud, everything shattered, and I knew nothing would ever be the same. The air was thick with the smell of barbecue and forced smiles, a supposed celebration for my father's 60th birthday where I always felt like an outsider looking in. They never hit me, never screamed. But every sentence they spoke was a blade wrapped in politeness, and every comparison to my sister, Chloe, was a reminder that I was a draft they wished they could just delete. Chloe was the golden child, perfect grades, perfect smile, the kind of person who could trip over her own ego and still lend to applause. Me? I was the quiet one, the afterthought, the "he's doing his best" trophy they only polished when guests asked about me. I learned early that love in our house was conditional, praise a currency only Chloe could afford. I used to think I'd earn it, that if I just worked hard enough, they'd finally look at me the way they looked at her. That day never came. Instead, the family party detonated the illusion completely. I arrived early with a small, thoughtful gift, an engraved pocket watch I'd saved for, knowing Dad loved old things. I hoped, just for once, he'd see I truly knew him. 20 minutes later, Chloe swept in, wearing a designer dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Everyone cheered like a celebrity had entered. Mom hugged her so tight I thought they might fuse, proclaiming, "Our pride and joy is here." Dad laughed, "The star of the family has arrived." I stood there, holding that damn watch, invisible in plain sight. Dinner started, and the jokes flew, all stories about Chloe's achievements, her promotions, her exotic vacations, her finance bro boyfriend who probably called his parents just to hear them clap. I tried to join in, to add something, but every time I opened my mouth, someone talked over me, like my volume was permanently stuck on mute. Then, Aunt Carol asked my parents how it felt to have such successful kids. Dad smiled, glanced at me, and said, "Well, we wish Chloe was our only child, but what can you do?" Everyone laughed like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard, like those words didn't slice straight through me. Chloe smirked, that tiny, smug twist of her mouth I'd seen 100 times. The one that screamed, "I win again." Mom chimed in, "He knows we're kidding," and patted my arm like I was a pet learning tricks too slowly. I just sat there, staring at the tablecloth, the laughter echoing in my skull like a broken record. I didn't cry. Tears felt too small a weapon for what they'd done. I just smiled politely, said, "Excuse me," and walked out into the night air that felt colder than I remembered. Behind me, I heard my cousin, Ethan, whisper, "Is he mad?" Someone laughed, Liam's sensitive. That was the last thing I heard before the door shut. I drove home in silence, the road lights flashing like an old film reel. Every forgotten birthday, every ignored achievement, every maybe next time carved into my ribs like tally marks. When I got home, I didn't throw things or scream. I just sat down and wrote a list. Not of revenge, not yet, but of truth. Every way they'd made me feel small. Every time they'd chosen Chloe over me. Every apology I'd given just to keep the peace. Somewhere around 3 in the morning, don't miss the twist bottom left, full story.